Hello, BookTube. I made a bit of a book haul today. It's always exciting. To Todd the librarian. I'm finally going to catch up. We had a new thrift store, or a charity shop, open up in the town next to us, across the river in New Hampshire. It's one that has an outlet on this side of the river, but this is a big, big place, so we were very excited. So I worked until about 3 today, met my wife and my littlest one, and we rode over to see what they had. And boy, did we find some treasures, or I did. Well, they did too, but I found some that I'll show you. Another thing I want to talk about first, though, was a long-time BookTube commenter, and someone I've always enjoyed hearing from and talking with, and somebody who's always been very kind to my library. Todd Oval has started a channel. We'll put a link down below. It's Todd's Bursting Bookshelves. And he's already put up a couple videos and they're good, so I hope you take the time to go ahead and check it out and give him your support. I've been waiting a while for that. So let me put it down here and I'll get to the books. So I have a budget, a book budget, not only at my library, but in my other life. And it got challenged a bit today because I was down. I've purchased some things lately, and so I had very little lucre in the bank for books. But I could have spent literally hundreds, because when we went in this place, they have a whole room that's dedicated to books and media. And they had a whole wall of Star Trek. I mean, a wall. Star Trek novels. Novelizations, the James Blish stuff, all the stuff you could imagine. I stuck to my budget, and I got 10 Star Trek books, and I got 2 others. So I wanted to go ahead and show them to you. Which side I put them on? I'll start here. So these are to fill gaps in my collections of Star Trek novels, which I think actually you can see. I can see some of them here. They go across the top up there. So I hope I didn't repeat anything, and I'll go and check, but I got them for $1 a piece. So the first one is the Klingon Gambit by Robert E. Vardaman. Very nice condition. So somebody basically had a collection. This is the pocketbook Star Trek #3. Somebody had a very nice collection, and it's sort of sad when you see it go away, but that's how people like me get my collection. So this came out in 1981. When Captain Kirk and his crew are ordered to Alnath 2 to challenge the deadliest Klingon starship, Terror, they're ready for anything, or so they think. But the defenseless Vulcan crew of a Federation science ship has been wiped out. The remaining members of the Alnath 2 mission have discovered a fabulous ancient city, but their report doesn't make sense. And then the next one, I'm not going to do these in any order. I'm just going to do them in the order I grab them. This is Star Trek #67, so quite a bit later, and very different cover art. But this is Diane Carey, who I usually enjoy. And this is Star Trek, The Great Starship Race. Even that sounds like fun. And pocketbooks again. 1993. When a friendly alien people called the Ray make contact with the Federation, they are thrilled to learn the galaxy has a large number of intelligent races. To bring the myriad cultures to their world, the Ray hosts a celebration, inviting spacefaring peoples to send representative ships to compete against one another, and the great starship race is born. That sounds like fun. Then, Star Trek #58, another good cover. This is a new novel by Michael Jan Friedman, Star Trek Faces of Fire. Pocketbooks again, and this one came out in 92. En route to Alpha Malurian 6 to settle the dispute between 2 religions. Good luck with that. The USS Enterprise first stops to do a routine check on the progress of a terraforming colony on Beta Kenzindia 3, a colony whose inhabitants include Carol and David Marcus. You Star Trek fans will remember them. While Spock is left behind at the terraforming colony to continue his scientific studies, the rest of the crew heads to Alpha Malurian 6 to find the dispute has turned to war. So there we go. Then Star Trek number 57. So wait. Oh, one just prior. So we're going backwards in time. This is The Rift, and this is by Peter David. And this one came out in 91. Every 33 years, a rift in space connects the Federation with a mysterious race called the Caligar, who live on a planet hundreds of light years away, much too far to travel in a starship. Captain Kirk and the USS Enterprise are dispatched to transport a Federation delegation of diplomats, scholars, and scientists who will travel to Caligar directly during the brief period of time that the rift will be open. Mr. Spock leads the Federation party as they travel by shuttle through the rift just as a group of the aliens arrive in Federation space. The meetings go smoothly until the Caligar takes Spock's party hostage and Kirk discovers that the aliens are keeping a deadly secret. With angry Talarite and Andorian fleets ready to attack the Caligar, Kirk must save Spock and the others before war breaks out and the rift closes for another 50 years. Then we have Star Trek number 69, The Patriot Transgression by Simon Hawke. There's the cover. And this one is 1994. USS Enterprise is sent to Patriot 1 to discuss that world's application for Federation membership. But Captain Kirk and his landing party soon discover that the Patriots have a strict system of laws that are enforced by a telepathic police force. In the midst of this startling revelation, the crew finds themselves in the middle of Patriot's growing political unrest. Caught between the Patriot telepathic police force and a deadly group of terrorists, Kirk, Spock, and the others must fight for their lives in a world where their thoughts make them criminals, and all crimes are punishable by death. I actually sort of like that cover. Then we got Star Trek number 16, The Final Reflection, with another great cover. This is by John M. Ford. Got some chess going, but it is not three-dimensional chess. This one came out in 84. Klingon Captain Kren is ruthless war strategist, but on a mission to Earth, Kren learns a lesson in peace. Suddenly, he must fight a secret battle of his own. His empire has a covert plan to shatter the Federation. Only Kren can prevent war at the risk of his own life. Okay. Then we have Mutiny on the Enterprise, Star Trek novel again by Robert E. Vardaman. So that's a couple of them we've got. And this is number 12. And this is from 83. The ship is crippled in orbit around a dangerous living, breathing planet, and a desperate peace mission to Orion Arm is stalled. Kirk has never needed his crew more, but a lithe alien woman is casting a spell of pacifism and now mutiny over the crew. Suddenly, Kirk's journey for peace has turned into a terrifying war to retake the command of his ship. And I take it that's her in the middle there. Causing trouble. Bit of an adventure. Then we have Star Trek Triangle, a novel by Sandra Marshak and Myrna Culbreth. And this one is number 9. And this came out in 83. A dark plan has been unleashed in the galaxy. A design so vast, only a collective and ruthless mind like the totality could have conceived it. Now Captain Kirk must battle the seductive force of the totality's will. It was reasonable that Captain Kirk and Federation free agent Solathon would fall in love, but no reasoning in the universe could have foreseen the tragedy of Spock's own passion for the same woman. Now this unimaginable conflict could cost Captain Kirk his very soul and bring death to the proud Vulcan. But in the unimaginable lies their only chance, and the freedom of the galaxy depends on the outcome of the triangle. Well, there you go. Then we have Star Trek number 66, From the Depths, a new novel by Victor Milan. Another, see the waves in the city there. Sort of cool cover. This came out, Pocketbooks, 93. Okinos, a water world settled centuries ago by a group of Federation separatists, is now rocked by a power struggle between the natives and the ex-Federation colony. When the USS Enterprise is sent beyond the Federation's boundary to the planet to act as mediators, they are surprised to find a group of Klingons already serving as the natives' advisors. The volatile situation rapidly deteriorates when one of Okino's great floating cities is completely destroyed and Captain Kirk is arrested for sabotage. Now at the center of a deadly civil war, Mr. Spock and the crew must race to free their captain as they face a deadly secret hidden beneath Okino's murky depths. So there you go. Then, this is a little different. This is a Bane book, Star Trek, The New Voyages, edited by Sandra Marshak and Myrna Colbreth, with special introductions by William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, DeForest Kelley, James Doohan, Nichelle Nichols, George Takei, and Michelle Barrett, with a foreword by Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry. This thing came out, like I said, Bane Books, and it came out in 1976. This is the 18th printing, 89. Had some little pinholes in it. I don't know what that's from. So they're just a group of stories with introductions by the... So here, collected in one history-making anthology, are 8 of the very first original Star Trek stories, rejoining the crew of the Enterprise as they boldly journey where no man has gone before. So what do we have here? Let's see. Naivar by Clara Gabriel. Enchanted Intersection Point by Juanita Colson. Enchanted Pool by Marcia Erickson. Visit to a Weird Planet Revisited by Ruth Berman. Cats, sorry about that. The cat's trying to move that. So there's a bunch of stories here. I look forward to reading them. Then, so there was 10 Star Trek books. And then there was a couple of other volumes here, something I've never read, and I've seen them on BookTube, or I've seen the author mentioned on BookTube. So it's David Gemmell, and the first one I got is Book 1 of the Regante, Sword in the Storm. Excellent condition. And this came out, let's see, 2001. Fierce and proud, the Regante dwell deep, well, that's hard to say, in the Green Mountain lands, worshipping the gods of air and water and the spirits of the earth. Among them lives a warrior who bears the mark of fate. Born of the storm that slew his father, he is Conovar, and the tales of his courage spread like wildfire. The Said, or Said, I'm not sure how to say that, a magical race as old as time, take note of the young warrior and cast a malignant shadow across his life. For soon a merciless army will cross the water, destroying forever the timeless rhythms of life among the Regante. Swearing to protect his people, Conovar embarks on a quest that will take him into the heart of the enemy. Along the way, he receives a gift, a sword as powerful and deadly as the seed who forged it. Thus he receives a name that will strike fear into the hearts of friend and foe alike, a name proclaiming a glorious and bitter destiny, Demon Blade. So there we go, David Gemmell. And then another one, this one's a novel of the Regante, Midnight's Falcon. This one came out, Del Rey book again, and this one is 2001. Bane the Bastard is the illegitimate son of the Regante king whom men call Demon Blade. Born of treachery, Bane grew up an outcast in his own land, feared by his fellow Highlanders, and denied by the father who unmistakably mark he bore. The eyes of Conover, one tawny brown, the other emerald green. Hounded from the country of his birth, Bane found an acceptance across the seas, only to have it stripped away in an instant by a cruel and deadly swordsman. Now fighting as a gladiator in the blood-soaked arenas of the Empire, Bane lives for one thing, revenge, and he pursues his goal with the same single-minded determination that won his father a crown. But more is at stake than a young warrior's quest for vengeance. The armies of the stone are preparing to march on the lands of Regante. The fate of human and Sade alike will be decided by the clash of swords and by the bonds of twisted love and bitterness between a father and a son. So, yeah, a couple of these Gemmell ones. So, let me see if I can do one of these fancy Steve pyramids. Sometimes I can, sometimes not so much. So, So here you go. That was today's little haul to check out the new thrift store or charity shop. And again, Todd Oval has a new channel, and we'll put a link down below. It's Todd's Bursting Bookshelves. I hope I got that right, Todd. And thank you, BookTube.